Makeup! Makeup! Oh. All right.
Good morning, you're gonna like it, I think.
Cindy!
Oh.
Hello, gorgeous. Oh. Oh. Ooh.
Wonder of wonder, miracle, miracle, God took his annual once again, stood by his side and miracle, miracle, walked him through the lion's den.
Running away, we'll do it. Why sit around resigned? Trouble is, son, the farther you run, the more you feel undefined. For I am a pirate king, and it is a glorious thing to be a pirate king.
I play it the company way. Executive policy is by me, okay? How can you get anywhere in life? Have no fear. Whoever the company fires, I will still be here. You will still be here after year after fiscal, nothing a fiscal year.
the queen of burlesque herself, Choo Choo Nips LaRue, who only until last week was alive and well, and she was performing at 97, her signature fan dance, when sadly, she got her high heels caught in her nipple tassels. And fell to her death into the orchestra pit. This one's for you, Nips.
Hi, this is Bernie Hojay. I met Danny a couple of decades ago. We bonded over a shared love of Laurel and Hardy, which eventually led us to work together on a book called Collecting Laurel and Hardy, available everywhere books are sold. Danny would have appreciated the plug. Over the 5 years we spent putting that book together, Danny and I spoke or traded texts so many times that a crazy thing happened. One morning my phone rang. Danny, of course. And as I picked it up, I noticed a strange thing. A little widget on my phone showed the people I contacted the most had changed. Where it used to be my wife, my daughters, and my brother, it was now my wife, my daughters, and Danny. So I answered and said, Danny, you call me so much you just knocked my brother off of my list of most important people on my phone. And without missing a beat, of course, Danny said, well, who's more important than me? We finished the call, and I hung up, and a second later, the phone rang again. Sure enough, it was Danny. Do you miss me, he asked. Well, Danny, I really do, buddy. I really do.
Hi, everybody. It's Nicholas King. I'm gutted not to be with you today in person. I will be out of town for this fabulous celebration of the life of our dear friend Danny. But I wanted just to say hello and a huge thank you to everyone who is putting this together to celebrate his life and his talent and his heart. I don't know what I can say that everyone else probably hasn't said already and that we don't already know. I have nothing profound to add to the plethora of love that I'm sure is swirling around that room, except I wanted just to say two things. One, I found that Danny was the most, capital T, capital M, generous performer I've ever worked with. The most generous performer I've ever shared a stage with. His spirit of generosity came through in the way that he handled himself on stage and off stage. Whether it was checking in with you just to see how you're doing, recommending you for a gig, making a connection for someone else, or when it was on stage, sharing the love from the audience with the musicians, with the lyricist, with the composer, with a singer who happened to be standing next to him. The least self-indulgent musician I've ever worked with. He was a team player. He was always thinking about other people and about ways to create art and to create connections with people and the audience and making music. And it's that I hope to emulate, and I hope that I will learn from that. I'm not being facetious or coy about it. I don't know anybody who's ever been that generous in this business, and I'm grateful for that. And the second thing I just want to say is just thank you. I'm so much of a better person, and I know this sounds so ridiculous and heavy to say and Hallmarkish, but it is the truth. I feel like I'm a better person because I knew Danny. because I know Danny. I don't like to say it in the past tense because people don't really ever leave us, do they? So I want to say thank you to Danny for being a shining example of not just a killer musician, but of being one of the best humans I've ever met. When I found out the news that he left us, the first words that come out of my mouth were, "We lost one of the good ones." And I believe that. He was one of the good ones, and he always will be one of the good ones. I miss him tremendously. Aaron, I send you my love. I thank you for sharing him with us. I can't imagine that was always so easy, but I'm grateful to you for allowing him the space to share his love and his heart with all of us. And I'm grateful to all of you for being there to celebrate him. And I'm sending all of my love to all of you. And let's keep his spirit of generosity going for the rest of our lives, all right? I love you all.
Hi everyone, this is Matt Baker here. As most of you know, I'm a musician and I had the pleasure of playing with Danny so many times. But what some of you may not know was that Danny was a fabulous magician as well. And for myself, for someone who's been into magic since the age of 11 and performing over the years, but took a mega break for about 30 years up until meeting Danny, it was really fun to know that Danny was into magic. So in May of 2023, Danny hired me for a private event on the Upper East Side in someone's home, just the two of us playing duo. And he said, "Hey Matt, what about we do some magic for the people as well?" And I thought that could just be so much fun. So we had this situation, we worked it out. We were playing that old black magic. He was playing the saxophone and I was playing the piano. And we had this thing that after my solo in old black magic, he would pull out a deck of cards and start to do magic. And he put handkerchiefs into his hand and made them disappear and pulled rabbits out of hats and all that kind of stuff. So Danny taught me this really great trick that I remember now, where he would just shuffle through the cards like this and say stop anywhere you like. Okay, look at that card and remember it. Okay, think about it. You're thinking of the Queen of Diamonds. Yes. I got that from Danny. We got to perform magic a couple of times over the next year or so at different events. And I want to remember you, Danny, not just as the incredible person you were, incredible friend, such a wonderful, beautiful musician, but also I want to remember you whenever I perform magic again. And I will honor you. It is such a pleasure to be a part of this event. So, Danny, I miss you so much. Thank you for everything. Thank you for bringing magic back into my life and our lives in so many ways. I miss you, and thank you.
Hey, it's Nicole Zaritis and
Dan Pulgach.
And we love Danny so much. Wow, what a spectacular human, my gosh. One of my favorite memories is we were doing a show at the Jazz Loft, and it was a Rat Pack gig. And we're sharing jokes, back and forth. And I had to do a lot of research because Danny had, one joke for every word of vocabulary that I know. So after the show, he said, I still got one good joke for you. And, Dan's a drummer. I'm a singer, piano player. He said, I didn't want to do it on the microphone because I didn't want to make you too mad. I said, oh God, what is it? So he texts me later and he said, what's the difference between a drummer and a pizza? And I go, what? He goes, a pizza can feed a family of 4. We love you, Daddy, so much. We love you so much. Mwah. We wish we could be there. All right. Hello from tour. Mwah, mwah. Love you guys.
Hi, everybody. I'm Michael Feinstein. I'm sure, like many of you, it still is hard to wrap my brain around the fact that Danny is not physically with us. He is such a force of incredible music, and his legacy is much more than music, as I've discovered since his exit from here. I had such a wonderful experience working with him and knowing him, and He's somebody who I will always remember so vividly because of his talent and his kindness and his joy and his humor. I send all of you love, and I pledge to continue remembering him and celebrating him as best I can, because he's a keeper. Thank you and God bless.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to Mr. Danny Bacher.
the bell. I go ding dong, ding dong, ding. Ding dong, ding dong. Ask me how. I wanna be like you. I wanna walk like you, talk like you too. Your voice is true, and ain't like me. Can't learn to be like someone like you. Oh, I'm so proud you chose me from all the crowd. There's no other guy I'd rather be. Oh, I could laugh out loud. I'm so lucky to be me.
Thank you, Danny Bacher. Thank you.